And here we are. It's Throwdown Thursday night, and we have got an Apex Conference Championship rematch here between the Oklahoma City Natives and the Rivals Cup champion Buffalo Brawler. Now both teams are in for quite a game tonight, and I am, as usual, your boy in the booth, Skip Lloyd. And right before, we had Coach Pete Gaffney stalking the sidelines for the kickoff of their season, and rookie captain quarterback Bert being #1 overall pick. We also had the first ever Rivals Cup banner drop. What a night here at the pit. It is pandemonium, and we are ready to get this thing underway. So for all you fans who are here and ready to rock, the Buffalo faithful say, let's bring it on. It's Throwdown Thursday night, and we are underway. Return out, coming down around the 20. And we are going to see last year's Rookie of the Year. That's Russell Watson at quarterback out of Southern Miss. He's a bit of a dual threat, certainly knows how to run the ball, even changed his number to be #1 this year. And if you're noticing a difference in the Brawlers uniforms and field, these are the first ever limited edition Stomping Grounds uniforms that they get for being the Rivals Cup winners. That's thanks to our partners, the Boiled Frogs, as new captain, second-year player Brandon Smith, a user captain for this defense, is ready to rock and roll and brawl here at the pit. The Brawlers defense is giving up a big play early, streaking down the sidelines. That's Lewis Montana on a 36-yard screen dump off. Montana has said all week, we're not afraid. That's a game that we'd love to have back, that Apex Conference Championship. And he's confident. He thinks that they could have taken Buffalo down, and the Natives want to do it tonight. Show everyone they should have played in the Rivals Cup. Some exciting attention to detail as well here. You see the Buffalo skyline on the field and the City of Buffalo logo as the running game is running right over this Brawlers #1 ranked defense from last year. Coach Gaffney said, we're making some adjustments. We're starting some younger guys. That includes Chucky Knox, first round, top 10 pick of the Brawlers. And they're handing off again, and they are just moving it right upfield. That looked like Richard Clemens getting 13 yards. Natives are in business here. Showing power to the right side, a single receiver flanked out left. Watson drops back, has time, turns around, throws it as he gets hit by another captain, Greg Looney. You can see this guy, he loves being a brawler. We got 2nd and 10 here. Thank you all for hanging out in the chat. Another screen dump off. This time, Vernon Cook sniffs it out. Montana already over 40 yards receiving on 2 catches here early in the game. 3rd and 4. Watson standing about his 20 out of the shotgun. Finds one over the middle, and they walk it right in for a touchdown. Oklahoma City, Michael Ruiz making it look too easy for the Natives as they go up early. If you heard an echo in the booth, sorry about that. We are still getting situated here for the regular season, but we are so glad to have you here as the Natives are glad to have an early 7 points. Lewis Montana said we could have taken them, and we're going to do it tonight. So now, talk about pressure. The Brawlers moved on from the presumed starter for the season, Glenn Huntington, who had himself quite a game with Vancouver to start the year. And here he comes, the #1 overall pick out of Michigan, former college national champion, Bert Bean. He's aggressive. He is absolutely a gunslinger, but he is not afraid to take off either, which we saw in the preseason. Looked electric, led most quarterbacks in rushing and passing in the preseason, but the regular season's a whole different game. Handing off to the fullback on the first play of the game. 2nd and 7, a 3-yard carry there. They have said that it's not going to be the Ronnie Leak show this year. They are going to lean into all the options in their run game, but I don't think anyone expected Skylar Harris to get the first run of the season. Like they said, they have Ronnie Leak, who led the league in rushing last year. They also have Luke Lindsay, the power back out of Memphis, and they drafted Mason Bigsby, a Heisman finalist. But it's Leak here early, making a shifty move and getting himself and the Brawlers a first down. Boy, do those Stomping Grounds uniforms look incredible. Awesome uniforms. Bert Bean in the shotgun, 1st and 10 from the 35. He's looking, he fires one deep down the sideline. It's Cameron Reed, he catches it at the 5 and almost goes in for the touchdown. Bean uncorks a moonshot and completes it to Cameron Reed, the old Michigan connection. Bean has got him at the goal line, but now getting chased down. Bag that man, and who else? Tony Pearson, a sack artist. Bean had nowhere to go on that one. But man, that throw downfield by Bert Bean showing why he was the #1 overall pick. Out of the shotgun here, 2nd and goal from the 14. You don't love that. Bring in C.J. Smith, 2nd-year tight end in motion. Hits Smith, who is just kind of backing the dump truck up. Bean still learning this offense, Coach Gaffney told us. But he said he felt good enough about how the preseason went where they had to give him the chance to start. Throws it. Oh, he dropped it. He had Dean Price in the back of the end zone and could not punch it in. Hit him in the hands. Not sure if it was separation or just a little bit of a miscommunication, but Bean looked great on that drive, but they're going to have to settle for a Mitchell Blackwell field goal as the Natives are staying up by 4 here. You can see Wild Bill Paulson, instead of the punter, Wild Bill Paulson, the veteran backup quarterback, signed before the season, is the holder on the snaps for field goal and extra point attempts. Coverage team is good, but still gets out past the 20, which you know this year in Football Rivals, a touchback only gets you to the 20. But the kicks have been well covered to start the week. We've had the average starting position somewhere around the 14-yard line. So coverage units have been up to form to start the week. They are hitting this screen game early. Knox cannot get there in time. Looks like Jorge Archibald coming up on the tackle, but not until after Montana gets the first down. There's Montana out of the backfield. What a weapon here early. Going in the I formation here. Oh, they got a little bit of a jump. Maybe a false start. Yeah, false start here on the offense. Too much noise here in the pit. We are in Buffalo, home of the Brawlers, where this stadium is actually dug in underground here. You saw at our opening just a little bit exposed above ground there. And nice stop. That's Chucky Knox getting in there on the tackle. Uh-oh. Looks like we might have a little bit of an injury here for Anthony Olson, the left guard, 2nd-year player. But Anthony Olson has really kind of supplanted some of the other talented offensive linemen. The Natives actually have had to put a player on the trade block on the offensive line. As Montana can't go anywhere, but the Natives have been putting a lot of players on the trade block, as a matter of fact. And oh man, now here goes another lineman. Howe going down. Going back to the locker room, but Cortland Polk, 3rd or 4th-year guard, has been supplanted by Anthony Olson, sorry. Olson's already back in. Watson throwing it downfield. Oh, almost intercepted by the former Native, Captain Julius Dobson. Dobson was a mid-season trade between the Brawlers and the Natives last season. Sure enough, had a fantastic, huge interception in the Apex Championship game, which helped clinch that game and send the Brawlers to the Rivals Cup, is Glenn Scarborough, another rookie, taking the punt return but not getting very far. Here comes Bean. They've called him a lot of things. Big Baller Bean is one of them. They're staying in a little bit of a pistol look here with CJ Smith at that H-back. QB Power tosses it out to Leak on the quarterback option. Nice read by Bean, knowing when to get rid of that ball. Big Brawler Bean, where has that been? That's the one. Big Brawler Bean, for sure. Mish coming in clutch there as Leak tries to get off the side, and he does, but only gets a yard. As Farrell is able to bring him down on the tackle. 3rd and 4 here, shy of their 40-yard line. We've got 5:30 left here in the first quarter as CJ Smith goes in motion. Bean has time, hits a receiver out to the boundary. That's Luke Lindsay, the power back, who is usually not hearing his number called on receiving plays, but Coach Gaffney likes to switch it up. Getting a lot of love for these Stomping Grounds uniforms, and just there, Ronnie Leak got stomped himself in the backfield by, I think that's Leo Ash, making the tackle there. 2nd and 13. That's Mason Bigsby sighting, rookie halfback next to the rookie quarterback. And he gets the ball, and he's got a little bit of room, fights off the first tackle, can't get through the second. They said they're going to keep rotating running backs, trying to keep them off balance. Obviously, Leak is the lead back, but they're going to sprinkle in Luke Lindsay and Mason Bigsby. Now an empty set after motioning out the running back. Bean's got time, fires it, but it is knocked down. That is going to force the punt. Jimmy Watkins, making a nice block there, swat rather. And they've now got the rookie punter, Walter Schuster out of Tulane, trying to nail the coffin corner. He does not have a big leg, but he does have an accurate leg. And it seemed to be that's what GM Doug Baxter was looking for in the draft. 1st and 10, starting from just past their own 10-yard line. Watson around the 5-yard line, hands it off to Montana, trying to shift it, cannot get anywhere. That's Notori Abbott, the run-stuffing bowling ball of a nose tackle, 5-tech. This Brawlers defense is a 3-4, but it's exotic. Oh, interception by Ramon Sanchez, shifting, he gets it in, he's walking it in, pick 6, touchdown! Brawlers! Ramon Sanchez, captain of this defense, with the sticky, picky, 6-y. Just grabbing that one, making a single cut. Dirty Sanchez. Brandon Smith is calling him. And the defense gets the first touchdown of the season for Buffalo, which has got to be music to the ears or eyes of, or a feast to the eyes of GM Doug Baxter and head coach Pete Gaffney, as they've said repeatedly, they are putting the pressure on their defense this season, not the offense. They said there's too many new faces on offense, starting a rookie quarterback. We have got to put more pressure on our defense, and they are ready to live up to it. You saw the rafters there as Chucky Knox makes a great tackle around the 11-yard line. If you didn't catch it at the beginning of the game, when this is all over, you should go back and check that banner drop, or maybe we'll see if we can get it replayed one more time, either at halftime or at the end of the game here. 1st and 10, under center, bringing Ruiz in motion, handing it off to Montana. It's got a little bit of space, but it closes quickly. 5 healthy yards on 1st down right there. Staying in run look here. Faking it though, booting out, getting chased. That's Greg Branch making the sack, the offseason trade acquisition from the Fury. Greg Branch. Sorry if we lost connection there for a second. But we are looking at a 3rd and 14 here. Fires one deep, incomplete, throwing it into double coverage. That's not a great idea. And Jorge Archibald saying, no. Not here. No fly zone. We're going to force the punt. As Russell Watson could not get it done there. J.J. Biggers, I believe. Or no, that's not Biggers. I'm sorry. He's a punter for the Hoplites. There's a lot of rookie punters in the league this year, believe it or not. That's Cliff Davey, a booming punter out of Houston. And they've got the ball inside the Natives 50. Not a great punt there. Beans got time, throws it deep down the sideline, and that's Cam Reed with another huge catch and a touchdown! Buffalo, let's go! Bean gets on the board with his first ever passing touchdown to his former #1 receiver at Michigan. We have got a true blue Michigan connection here. Bean looking great. Big brawler Beans, first tutty, says Brandon Smith. One play, 46 yards, 6 seconds. Wow. That Cliff Davey punt is hurting even more right now, and Buffalo, down 7-0 early, has now scored 17 unanswered points, including the pick 6 by Ramon Sanchez. Natives have got to stop the bleeding here as the coverage team swarms the return man. Russell Watson got to get it straight here. And when you're a young quarterback, second-year QB who had mostly success, how do you face adversity? Shotgun set to start, 18-yard line. Fakes the delay draw. He's got time, but now he's just going to throw it away. Feeling that rush, saying that's on me, couldn't find anyone. 2nd and 10. Up the gut, Montana getting stopped. That's Chucky Knox, the Michigan linebacker. You might call this Michigan East or Michigan Pro here in Buffalo. They love their Michigan guys. Everyone knows GM Doug Baxter has deep Michigan ties, but wow, Louis Montana up the gut for a first down, but gets planted. I think it was Vernon Cooks, the cornerback, hitting like a safety or a linebacker. And that's going to do it for the first quarter. And we have seen quite the action here on Throwdown Thursday Night. It's Rivals Pro 26. Bean took a sack, but those aren't the plays that people are going to remember from that first quarter for the rookie quarterback. Coach Gaffney always finding something to chirp at the refs about. He never seems too happy, even when they won last year. They won it all, and the guy still looked miserable. Kind of a odd pistol as Watson tries to keep it, and Sanchez brings him down in the backfield. We're showing Loftus, but it was Sanchez making the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 12 here. Ooh, keep your eyes peeled. The commission says there's a bonus credits question on the way. Sanchez. Tackle for loss, Sanchez. Brandon Smith bringing the jokes tonight. Shotgun set, 3rd and 13 for Watson on the screen. They get the first ban, but cannot get anywhere near the sticks. Is Sanchez and Jashawn Hawthorne, their lockdown cornerback, making a tackle to stop him well short of the sticks there. Hawthorne we may have to talk a little bit more about later. He's made it very clear since they didn't pay Frost, he thinks he should be the next guy that they pay and extend. Hard to argue with that as Scarborough makes a nice cut on the punt return there. Cam Reed already 2 targets, 2 catches, 108 yards and a touchdown. Cameron Reed certainly enjoying the benefits of Terrence Andrews getting shipped off to Philadelphia, kind of putting him and Dean Price in a 1A, 1B role. As they hand it to Leak, fights through a couple, gets 4 tough earned yards there. Boy, do these black and gold stomping grounds uniforms look incredible. hopefully, they said if they make the playoffs, we might see him again, but this is the only time that they were planned in the regular season to wear them. Going back to that black and red and gold soon. Bean 3rd and 3 here, handed it off again. See if they're going to try. Oh, they're definitely going to try to pass it. Empty set here. Oh, they might get a free play. No, they're not going to throw the flag for the offside. Certainly looked like it. Bean throws one. Oh, out of bounds. Really just kind of an arm punt. He was really just throwing it so he didn't get sacked. He's telling the other guys to calm down, and they're going to punt it away here again with Walter Schuster. He had a nice coffin corner punt that stopped him around the 10 last time. This one goes to about the 10, but they're going to get the ball around the 20 or 21-yard line. It's a nice return of 10 on the punt return there. Offense is really stalled out after that first drive for the Natives. They were carving Buffalo right up with the run game and the screen game, and now it seems Buffalo has kind of sniffed that out as Knox misses the tackle. The young linebacker missed one there, but Dobson comes down from the safety spot. Gets the cleanup hit there on Montana, but they are still moving that ball with the screen. 2nd and 2, Montana huffing and puffing. But he gets the first down as the defense jumps on his back. Watson just excited to get a first down there. Dumps it off right there. I believe it was Richard Clemens. Shotgun set, 2nd and 11 after the loss of 1 on the play there. Hands it off to Clemens again. Finds some space off left tackle. He's got the first down and then some. Richard Clemens, certainly an unexpected addition from Southern Miss. They had to find another complimentary back, and they found Richard Clemens on waiver wire. 1st and 10, Montana back in, finds it up the gut. That's a nice 5-yard gain. Seems like the Natives are starting to find a little bit of rhythm here, as it looks like Absalom Hill got the trivia question correct. Montana gets stopped by Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith, that user recruit who is a first-year captain after coming over in a trade, part of the big Andrew Frost trade, is Sanchez again makes a huge play, stopping Clemens in the backfield. Huge. You know, a lot of people thought that Chucky Knox would instantly be LB1 for Buffalo after going so high. No, they run a hybrid 3-4 system. He's getting the benefit of learning next to crafty veteran Ramon Sanchez, who is probably not going anywhere anytime soon, as they go for it on 4th down and they get stopped. Dobson coming down from the safety spot to make the tackle, and they are denied. Gotta love it when your cornerback and your safety make a tough, short yardage run stop. We see Cameron Reed hoping to get a couple more catches. If he gets 2 more, he'll be over 200 yards by the mathematical logic of his first 2 catches. Being in the shotgun, 1st and 10 here. He's going to pass, or looking to anyways. Dumps it off. Ooh, looks like a little bit of a miscommunication there. Trying to throw it a little bit on the move out of the pocket. Oh, as they're trying to bring some pressure up, they might have been offsides. So even though they stopped Ronnie Leak in the backfield, it looks like they are offsides. Encroachment penalty there. As it is, Brandon Smith's right, it is loud here in the pit. Coach Gaffney's still not happy about, could have had a bigger chance on that free play. But 2nd and 5 nonetheless, just shy of the 50-yard line. Bean fires one over the middle to tight end C.J. Smith, and that is good for 1st down. Bean having himself quite a night here. starting his regular season in primetime looking good. Handing off to Leak out of the shotgun. Leak just lowering the shoulder. He was kind of huffing and puffing a little there pre-snap. Got dual halfback set, but it's Bigsby and Lindsay. Lindsay getting the catch, but not getting anything out of it. Bean saying, I did not like that play. Shotgun set, 3rd and 10. Bean booting out left. Booting out right and throws left against his body. Kind of a dangerous play. But ultimately, they are going to have to punt it away. Alex Roy saying, why is native logo on my 50? That is not a native logo. That is the logo of the city of Buffalo. And these Stomping Grounds uniforms are highly detailed and catered to the city. There's a possibility that we may see even more Stomping Grounds uniforms next year, whether it's just the playoff teams or potentially the whole league. It is not for sure yet, but there is certainly more Stomping Grounds uniforms on the way. You can always look forward to new things from Football Rivals as Sanchez now has a sack to go along with his pick 6. Ramon Sanchez has been all over the field tonight. Incredible play by this middle linebacker, who is certainly not what you think of when you think of a 3-4 middle linebacker. 6'1", 228, plays like he's 6'5", 258. The guy is a nightmare out there for the Natives. 2nd and 19, throwing quick throw by Watson, and he gets depleted by Jeff Burns, leaving them with a 3rd and 19 here. See what Watson tries to do. 3rd and 19, throws it. It's just another screen, and they are definitely not getting that one. Still 10 yards shy. 11 yards shy. Dobson having himself a night against his former team as well. They're forcing the punt again. After that first drive of the game, the Brawlers defense just flipped the switch and said, okay. As Cliff Davey gets a boomer back. Scarborough returning from the 30, getting about 7 or 8 on that one. Got Bert Bean coming back out here with 2:28, just a little bit of time. Stayed in that pistol. C.J. Smith, left to right. Ooh, that was not a great move there. Another loss for Ronnie League. He looks just a step slow. If you recall, there was a preseason tweak, they called it. A muscle tweak for Ronnie Leak. Tweaking, leaking. And that is the 2-minute warning here on Throwdown Thursday night. Shotgun set, 2nd and 13. They may go up-tempo here, especially if they can convert it. Leak moving out a little bit in motion. Bean fires one down the sideline to tight end C.J. Smith for a big gain. Just like that, they are back in business. Nice throw by Bean, just finding the open man, and he was certainly fond of his tight ends in the preseason, finding both C.J. and Bobby Smith quite often. Yeah, they got a little bit more urgency now. 1st and 10, minute 29. Bean moving, and just throws it away. Great move there. Everybody was covered. Did not take the coverage sack. He was trying to climb around the pocket. One thing that Bert Bean is exceptional at is finding space in the pocket and getting out of there. Hits Leak on the screen. Ooh. Gets mollywopped by 2 defenders there. 3rd and 6. Can you believe both teams have only converted 2 third downs? Bean looking like a pro, throwing on the run. It's complete. Dean Price shakes off the tackles and walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo! Huge play there. Bean escaping the pressure, hitting Dean Price. 3 men chasing Bean and 3 men trying to tackle Dean Price. and he just makes a hell of a spin to get out of the tackle, wearing those gold and white cleats there, looking fresh. The Brawlers are up before the half. Add one more from Blackwell, and it's 24-7 as they are getting close to halftime. What a drive. Bean looking incredible under pressure. Gaffney excited about how his team is looking in week one, but there's still a whole nother half. We have seen some huge comebacks like that Ice Pack Mammoth game. And we are looking at 39 seconds left here in the first half. Watson trying to scramble. He's got some time. Gets tackled. No. Brandon Smith trying to make the tackle. But cannot do it. Shotgun set. Watson looking for space. Throws it downfield. Incomplete. Brawlers looking like they're ready to repeat. Well, it's week one. I wouldn't be that confident. 3rd and 5 under center. They're just going to hand it off to Montana, who's got space, but gets tackled. See if they take the timeout here or not. Nope, but they are going to go hurry up. Let's see. Shotgun set. Getting flushed out of the pocket. Brought down for the bag. It's Branch again. That is going to bring the first half to a close. Watson limping a little bit after that one. Bean looking fantastic in the first half. Big brawler Bean, as y'all called it. We've got the halftime report, but what we're going to show you is that banner drop. It's beautiful. One more time. So nice. We had to show it twice. What's that? One more? One more. Can't get enough of the banner drop here in Buffalo. And we've got a suite of games that we've already seen some of the action, but the action tonight has been incredible. The pick six from Sanchez was one of the highlights. Also a couple really nice touchdown throws by Bert Bean. Let's get back into it here. Scarborough getting the return. Up past the 20. And let's talk about Bert Bean. Man, this kid has looked like a seasoned vet. Hitting Cameron Reed early, finding Dean Price under pressure. Had another one to Price in the back of the end zone that should have been a touchdown but got dropped. I think there was a lot of confidence in number 13, who's number 1 overall. 1st and 10 out of a pistol formation here. Boot firing against his body. That was a dangerous throw. Kind of had some levels there with Cam Reed and C.J. Smith, both kind of running those outbreaking routes. Hands off to Ronnie Leak out of the shotgun, but does not go anywhere. 3rd and 9. Third and 9. Let's see what Bean does. Feeling the pressure. Oh, tries to hit Price. But Russell coming up and breaking up that play. They're going to have to punt the ball off. Nice punt there by Schuster. Getting a little bit of a return. Like Mason Edwards making the tackle. Uh-oh. You don't want that. Jeff Burns, their slot cornerback. Feeling a little injured here, which means we might see Alex Roy. We do. Alex Roy is on the field covering the slot. He is their backup slot corner. The play going away from Roy as Watson just throws it out of bounds. Does not want to get sacked again by Branch. Greg Branch bringing the heat so far tonight. Oh, there's a flag that could be offsides. Let's see. Brandon Smith chasing him down. Smith has been pressuring Watson all night long. Yeah, false offsides, encroachment here. Oh, and it's on Alex Roy. Gaffney not gonna love that.
Still second down.
Giving them 5 free yards on that play. But like I was saying, Brandon Smith hasn't gotten the sack yet, but he has been applying a ton of pressure as they go for the screen pass there to Watson, or Montana rather. Watson to Montana. Not sure if the offensive line was legally lined up there. Watson firing out to his right as Roy making up for that offsides penalty just a minute ago by breaking it up there. Watson feeling the pressure, dumps it off to the check down. Still getting some yardage out of that one. Richard Clemens. Watson 3rd and 2. Just outside the 40. Throws the bubble screen and they get it. He's running down the sideline. That's Alan Springs. Springing for a first down. Big play there. The Natives needed that, but wow, Archibald plants him. First and 10 is the furthest the Natives have gotten downfield in a while. Bringing Ruiz in motion. Hand it off to Clemens, who gets dropped. It's Leon Clark, who's usually more of a pass coverage specialist. Kind of the third middle linebacker for the Brawlers. Watson throws it out to the right, and it's complete for a couple yards, still short of the sticks. Under center on 3rd and 3 here, bringing the tight end around in motion. Hand off, but they are snuffing it out. No, it looks like he's going to get given the first down. That was close. Yeah, they give him the first down. I thought he was a little short of the sticks. Staying in this power run. Clemens gets it now, getting a couple, but the Brawlers clinching it up. Sanchez right in the middle of it. At the 20, technically just outside it. 2nd and 7. We've got 9:20 left here in the 3rd quarter. You're watching Throwdown Thursday Night as Watson tries to get rid of it. Chased down by Brad Huggins, last year's first-round pick for the Brawlers. A formidable 3-4 defensive lineman. And they're just dialing up pressure. Almost intercepted again. And it's Deshaun Hawthorne, the lockdown #1 quarterback. Sanchez kind of looking like another great defender from other football worlds with that long hair hanging out there. Ramon Sanchez, that's the name. The defense coming up big there as the rookie kicks it through. It's Addison Vernon out of Middle Tennessee State. Arguably one of the best kickers in all of college football last year. Natives drafted a rookie kicker and punter. Scarborough makes a great move to at least get it back to the 20. We're going to get ourselves some more. A big Brawler Bean. You know, there was a lot of conversation around the draft, but it always seemed pretty clear that Bean was the consensus #1 as he fires it for a completion, picking up 10 yards in the first down to C.J. Smith. But they lost a lot of pieces. They traded away a lot of pieces. They lost coordinators to head coaching jobs on both sides. So the Brawlers certainly are a very different team than they were a year ago. And it sounds like Coach Gaffney is trying to set the expectations on the defense. Unless you were Bart, yes. So he's trying to put the expectations on the defense and the run game. So it seems like he's trying to tamp down expectations around Bert Bean, but he has certainly surpassed probably any expectations anyone had for him week 1. As long as they can hold on and win this game, Bean has already had himself a stellar night. 3rd and 8 out of the shotgun here. 24-10, 7:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Bean fires it. Oh, man. Tight coverage by Mason. Again, breaking up a pass intended for Dean Price. Dean Price had a lot of looks his way tonight, but has not come down with a lot of them. He did have that nice touchdown earlier, but he has had a lot of targets and only a handful of catches from those targets. Nice punt by Schuster back to the 15. And the return not bad either, getting 8 or so on the return. And here comes Russell Watson. We've got a former rookie quarterback taking on a current rookie quarterback, and right now you can say the rookie is looking better than the former rookie of the year. Watson just not having a night tonight. Already threw that pick 6, which really kind of turned their momentum around, or the whole momentum swing shifted there as he hands off to Montana out of the shotgun, getting 4 yards there. Alex Roy in on the tackle, so we've still not seen Jeff Burns come back from that injury, but Alex Roy not afraid, even at an undersized stature, not afraid to stick his nose in there and make a tackle. Oh, we've got a penalty here. False start. Alex Roy, 5'8", 185, soaking wet, but not afraid to come up and tackle. Gotta love that. 2nd and 11. Shotgun Sanchez flying up the middle on the blitz. Watson reads it. Makes a great throw to Cameron McCall, their tight end. 1st and 10 there. Hands it off to Montana. Out of the shotgun. He finds room. And Alex Roy again in on the tackle. Uh-oh. Do not want to see this one. Brandon Smith limping off. Not a good look for Buffalo. That means we're going to see some more Loftus and Mason Edwards and Chris Montague trying to fill in. Certainly, we'll see if we can get an update on Brandon Smith. Looked like some sort of lower leg injury as the medical staff was walking him off there. If we get an update, we'll let you know. 1st and 10 from the 50 for the Natives. Trying to mount a comeback here in the 3rd quarter with 5.5 minutes. Hands it off. Gets the big run out of the shotgun. That's Montana, who is certainly having himself a night tonight. Well over 100 yards all-purpose. Had a lot of carries and a lot of catches. From the 40, 1st and 10, under 5 minutes. Fakes the handoff. Watson fires one low. Maybe the pressure's starting to get to him. The Brawlers have been sending waves of blitzes and exotic stunts all game long. Different guys getting home each time. Even if they're not getting the sack, they're still making the hit. Ooh, and then Deshaun Hawthorne knocking it out of Scrame's hands. Forcing them free. 3rd and 10 here. Shotgun set for Watson. Montana stays in to chip. It's intercepted again by Sanchez. Incredible. Ramon Sanchez with his 2nd interception of the game. Ramon Sanchez absolutely looking the part of a number 1 middle linebacker. He's a captain for a reason, was a big part. That's, you got to call him the Sanchez now, right? A big part. His brother plays middle linebacker for the Firebirds. There was a lot of hope that maybe they would trade and have the Sanchez brothers next to each other, but instead they drafted Chucky Knox to be his running mate. And we'll see. Time will tell on Knox. Some say maybe too high for a middle linebacker, but hey, another linebacker, Brian Pillman, went number 2 overall. Handoff to Lindsey, getting stopped at the line. Only a yard there. It's Nick Duvall coming in and making the tackle. Empty set on 2nd and 9 for Bean. Throws a quick bubble screen to Dean Price. Catches that one. Price trying to extend for the first down, but he's just shy. Just shy. 3rd and 1. Can you believe that the Natives have converted more 3rd downs than the Brawlers tonight? Oh, we got a jump. Who's it going to be on? It is going to be on the offense. That's right, Commissioner Back saying, don't forget, if you're trying to upgrade your player, you have to get your upgrade purchases in by Saturday night before or after Smash Mouth, rather. Basically, by the end of the 9 p.m. Smash Mouth doubleheader, you've got to get your upgrades in. Bean not happy on that one. 4th and 6, and they're going to punt it away again. They've maybe seen a little more of Walter Schuster tonight than they wanted to see. Brawlers hardly punted last year behind the prolific arm of Andrew Frost, but the Iceman is no more. The Ice King is now out in Seattle. Watson certainly struggling tonight is the Sanchez. Has been all over the field, just making Watson's night a living hell. You can see fans are certainly hoping that Watson can take a couple deep shots here. But also they're at a disadvantage. Looks like McCall getting the catch there. But they're certainly at a disadvantage because if you didn't know, their starting receiver, their number 1 receiver, Roy Pritchard, suffered a pretty big injury, a separated shoulder joint. He suffered that in the preseason, and if you want to see some of the injuries, you can check out your favorite teams on League HQ. As Watson fires one, it's complete to McCall for the first down. You can find out all sorts of stuff about your favorite teams and players at rivalspro.leaguehq.io. That's rivalspro.leaguehq.io. Watson got the first down here. Dumping it out on the screen. This time it's a tight end screen. As Dobson with his 10th tackle of the night from the safety spot. But the Brawlers defense certainly okay with giving up some of these because they have overwhelmingly been taking advantage of the Natives. Stopped short. That's Alex Roy stopping them short of the first down. Going with a heavy power look here on 3rd, and he gets stopped behind the line. Montana gets stopped. And that's by a rotational D lineman. That's not even a starter. Huge play there, and it's by Mike Ward, who's probably playing right now because of the Brandon Smith injury. When they go with some of those power run formations, they bring a little bit of a heavier set out, and Mike Ward is a heavier set. He's a 305-pound DN, but in a 3-4, DNs are 300 pounds. Nice punt, but it rolls through the end zone, and just like that, we are here in the 4th quarter as we are watching the Sanchez one more time with that incredible interception. Got to show something good for the Natives, so we're showing that Tony Pearson sack, but it's been all Buffalo through 3 quarters. They've got the ball with a 1st and 10 from their own 20 right here. Let's see what happens in the conclusion of this one. Hands off to Mason Bigsby. He's got a lane. Rotates off that first defender. 7 yards on first down. Mason Bigsby, a luxury pick. The Brawlers had so many picks because of the Andrew Frost trade. They were able to take Mason Bigsby right at the top of the 2nd round. I can't believe that Neo Judkins, who also had a nice game just earlier tonight, Neo Judkins and Mason Bigsby were sitting there at the bottom of the 1st and the top of the 2nd. I don't think anybody expected 2 Heisman finalists to be falling that far, and then you get the 2 Rivals Cup teams picking them. Oh, nice run up the gut there for Luke Lindsay, an absolute power back who looked really good in the preseason. Let's see offensive lineman Nick Pierce, another pending free agent. GM Doug Baxter has some work to do with some of the guys. Got to figure out. He hands off to Bigsby, but gets stopped there. 2nd and 11, loss of 1 there. Brawlers have quite a few players that they have got to figure out. They've signed the tackles both long-term last season, but they've got their left guard and center, Nick Pierce and Joe Goldman. Can't probably realistically keep both of them. Got to be curious as to what Doug Baxter is going to do there. Got 2 offensive linemen, realistically only going to sign one of them. You got to think they're probably going to sign Nick Pierce because he's much younger. Goldman going on 30, a veteran center though. Do you want that for a rookie quarterback? Or they also drafted last year Steve Andrews, who's playing guard right now, but he was the center in Oklahoma. So got to wonder if the long-term plan was to get Andrews to center, and if that is the plan, then how soon do they make that move to get him and Bean as much chemistry as possible? 1st and 10 here. Moving the chains. Dean Price with a nice play as they hand it off to Lindsey up the gut. Getting 4 yards on that carry. Russell's celebrating, but look at the scoreboard, pal. Got to make a bigger play than a 4-yard run stop. But they are staying in a power formation here. When Skylar Harris is out there and Luke Lindsey, they're probably just running it up the gut. Skylar Harris, probably a little bit of a step back at the fullback position. They had Greg Gaddis last year. Harris, a veteran, but he can catch, he can block. He's kind of a utility, do it all. Ooh! Bean trying to get a little cute, throwing into coverage, trying to hit C.J. Smith on his hip pocket, but could not get it there. They're going to let Mitch Blackwell take one from, pretty far out here. He's going to be kicking from the 44-yard line, and it sails left. Blackwell maybe has the strongest leg in the league, but you saw the defender just missed the block there. Maybe gave him a little bit of a forced kick there, shanking it to the left. The Natives have a chance here. The Brawlers could not put any more points on, but this is a tall order with 8:47 left in the game. Watson out of the shotgun. Fires it, almost intercepted by Alex Roy, who has certainly stepped up tonight with Jeff Burns out. Watson again out of the shotgun, complete that time, over the middle. The Natives have been able to move the ball between the 30s, but have not been able to punch it much further than that. Watson staying in the shotgun set here. He's got Montana next to him, trips to the right. Watson looking for it, throws left deep downfield to nobody. Just getting rid of that one. We're hearing that Brandon Smith is doubtful to return to this game. Watson got time, flushed left, gonna run it, but gets tackled by Archibald after only 2 yards. Looked like they had a safety spy going on there. You can see Buffalo loves kind of rotating and mixing coverage off. Looks like Sanchez just switched with Alex Roy in coverage. They throw that way, and Sanchez says, no, do not throw over here. You tried that tonight, and it isn't working. But now they've got to go for it on 4th and 8. 14 points down right now. Watson getting pressure. Greg Looney brings it down. Bag that man. Get him his luggage and get him out of here. The veteran denies the Natives as both Greg Branch and Greg Looney just blow up their linemen. That was a house call. Meet me at the quarterback. Is Bean talking to Leak as they step out there. Two Loonies, that's right. He's his own form of cash money, or coin currency, I guess. Shotgun set for Bean. Kind of figured they would just run it here. They do, but man, Leak is still looking a little slow. I believe it was a hamstring. Bean not liking that call. Hands on the hips there. 2nd and 13, staying in the power. Got Bobby Smith out there. Right up the gut for Luke Lindsey, who just lowers his head, gets 10 yards. 3rd and 2, Leak back in the game. Skylar Harris in front of him at fullback. They are going to pass this time. Dumps it off to C.J. Smith for a short pass, and that's a first down, but a big one that's going to let them chew up a lot more clock here. 1st and 10, 5:25. Leak finally finding some space, getting about 4 yards there. Always looks like more than it is when they run out of the shotgun. Under center. I'll let that play clock melt all the way down. Leak picking up a couple more. Looks like a gain of 3 on that one. Shotgun set. Actually looks like Luke Lindsay is in at the halfback spot. Throws it quick to Bobby Smith, who's just short of the first down. Bobby Smith gets his first catch as a pro. He thought he had the first, but he's just shy. Just shy. They're going to go for it here on 4th. Gotta love that. Quarterback keeper, and he gets it. Bean, one man to miss. Can't fight off the last one, but strong run by Bert Bean to put this game on ice. That was a statement by Big Brawler Bean and the team here in the pit. Pete Gaffney said, we're going to use his legs. He knows how to run, something Andrew Frost did not do a lot of. And Bean did plenty of it in the preseason. So, like we said, this is going to look like a very different Brawlers team this year. A lot of run, but a lot of that run may be coming from the QB. Hands off to Lindsay, trying to find space, not getting it. They're already in field goal range here, so I think their plan is to use up the Natives' timeouts. Only one left for Oklahoma City, so you got to imagine this is a run right here. No, they're going to pass it. Being complete to C.J. Smith. Pete Gaffney not willing to take the easy handoff. Aggressive play calling from Pete Gaffney, but what else would you expect? Now the handoff to Ronnie Leak. Ooh, he gets hit there. Nick Duvall. These guys have a lot of respect for each other. I think the Natives were expecting to put up a bigger fight here tonight, but we are down to the 2-minute warning here in this game. Oh, they're just going to kneel it. This one is just about over. See if Kamish can get that question in before this one is completely done. Well, that's weird. They kneeled it, but now they're going to run a play. Oh, Leak! Just short of the touchdown off the left tackle. And they're just going to take the field goal here. Leak just missed giving them that extra pop there. And return not getting to the 20. This one is all but over. Watson throwing out right. Oh, Jeff Burns came back into the game, so it looks like Alex Roy may be done for the night. We're going to stop the clock here. Thank you all so much for joining us here. It's been an outstanding game for our first Throwdown Thursday night. I don't know that there'll be a full live call every week, but it's going to be close. Watson Fires one down the sideline. Incomplete. Last play here, 4th and 4. We will get one more banner drop tonight. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. Natives not happy about that as Bert Bean is going to get victory number 1 in his first game ever. Quite a game for Buffalo tonight here at the pit. Hopefully they come out of it healthy. That is Throwdown Thursday Night, Week 1. Thank you all so much for being here. We've got more football action to come, and don't forget we've got a doubleheader of Smash Mouth Saturday night this week, which will be topped off by the Houston Hoplites playing the Orlando Sharks. You've seen it, you've heard it, here in Buffalo. This is live from the pit. Bert Bean and company do a number on the Oklahoma City Natives, the Apex Conference rematch from last season. And the Sanchez made it look easy. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll catch you next time.